If your tank water heater's over 8 years old, you may be sitting on a ticking time bomb. It could start leaking without warning, causing far more damage than the loss of the heater itself. Consider replacing it with a Navien tankless water heater. No storage tank to leak, endless hot water for spa-like comfort, longer life, and backed by Navien's strong warranty. Before time runs out, visit tanklessmadesimple.com for the name of your Navien contractor.
Count on Navien.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. A couple in British Columbia, Canada, recently broke up, and the guy wound up suing his ex to get back 3 things from her. 2 pillows and a vibrating toy, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like one of those G.I. Joe.
Yeah, the G.I. Joe magic parachuter.
With the Kung Fu grip.
Yeah, that's it. Specifically, he wanted the Hitachi magic wand, which costs around $50.
Oh, neck massager.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just going to say, because, I didn't know Hitachi was in the business of, they make good TVs, but they also, but if it's a personal massager, it's really not labeled as a sex toy, but Vicky, the way Vicky described, I guess Vicky's very happy about it.
That's the one they use in all the fine films, the fine adult films. That's the one you always see, whether it has the cord attachment or not.
It's what Tom Hanks used in Castaway.
Oh, right. I forgot about the Hitachi magic wand, him and Wilson. Yeah, that's right.
What if Hitachi, they make other appliances or electronics and then make some decent money, but what if their bread and butter, what has made them a massive company, is the adult toy market, and we just don't even know it?
Yeah, you may be right.
Right.
Yeah, who knows if that's their big seller. So this guy, he wants it back.
Why do you want it back?
Well, you know what? You get bitter, man.
Out of spite?
Yeah. You know what? You can't have me or what you really liked about me in the first place.
How much are those things?
Well, $50 for the Hitachi magic wand.
Okay, you're going to sue somebody over a $50 massager?
I think it's just to be petty. It's you don't get it anymore.
Yeah, people, when they get jilted, Steve, they just, they see no reason. They just want to wreck stuff, break stuff, take stuff. And so he had to prove, though, because in order to get it back, in order for this suit to happen, he had to prove that he did not give this as a gift. And his main proof was a text message where she referred to it as, quote, his. His ex tried to claim she should keep it because it's meant for women, not for men. So, of course, it's, what is he doing? But if it's a personal massager, look, I sometimes have a sore neck. And I didn't know that maybe she might have a sore man on the boat. But either way, you can use it. Wow.
I don't know if you should ever be in charge of the marketing for the Hitachi massager.
Yeah. Do you have a sore neck? How about a sore man in the boat?
Wow.
But earlier this week, small claims court, they sided with the guy, and so she actually has to return his stuff.
Wow.
How could they side with him? Really?
I would have loved to have been, I doubt they needed a jury for this, but you get called in for jury duty. That would be the greatest jury duty experience in my life.
It must be because it's the magic wand. If it was specifically a lover's, it looks like what it is, It's like, hey, here's Bob. But since it is the magic wand and sold as a massager and not a sexy thing.
Technically, I think they've kind of crossed over. It is known as the king of those. Of the sexy thing. It is now a massager /
Okay, well, if that's the case, then I don't know how he was able to win that back.
That just proves he has a good lawyer.
Yeah, you're right.
If I'm the lawyer, I'm using this as my example of why you should hire me.
But again, it was a $50 case. You think he had a lawyer? How much do you have to pay a lawyer to get your $50? Well, again,
I don't know.
If
you're probably
petty,
right. Small claims, do you need a lawyer?
Yeah.
You just got that should be on Judge Judy.
Yes.
With the People's Court.
You're absolutely right. I don't know if Canada's got a show like that, but they should have immediately put them on.
I want my magic wand back.
Yeah, how do you not do that, People's Court, and make some cash?
And the other 2 things were pillows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can understand pillows, I suppose.
Wait, were they pillows or were they pillows?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Love pillows.
Love pillows.
What the hell's a love pillow?
I don't even know.
They're like wedges. They have certain ones that help.
So you can be balanced in a certain way, so you can assume the position.
As it were.
Wow. I gotta get me a love pillow. Does it make it easier if you're old and don't have enough stamina?
Probably.
Okay, I'm
It'll
doing it.
prop you up.
I gotta get a squatty potty. I gotta get a love pillow. Man, I gotta get a lot of things, man.
Just use the love pillow in the toilet, then you can use it to bang for
Oh,
your
right.
buck.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, that's romantic. Honey, hold on. Let me go get the squatty pillow. I'll be right back.
They were down pillows. I bet they were.
Yeah, they were.
Down for what?
When we wanted to get down, we used these pillows and our magic wand.
Yeah, he says he bought them for when he stayed over every other weekend because he cannot use the women's synthetic pillows.
Oh.
This guy sounds like a tool. I think she wins. I mean, seriously, she wins.
She might have lost out on these items, but she definitely won.
Yeah, you know, for $50, she got him out of her life. Here you go. Get the hell out, you idiot.
Vicky, what are you? Don't even tell me.
I'm looking at Amazon. Like, I wanted to see why a guy might want to keep it back, and there's
She
a
found
few
a
attachments.
chair. Just yeah.
What are you doing, Vicky?
Look, this is what I look over and see.
Why are you looking at my computer?
Oh, it's like that bike that Matt got on. It's always sunny.
Yeah,
oh,
it is.
gosh. Oh, man.
Like
What
other
are you?
attachments for dudes.
Okay, we got it. That's good.
Thanks, Vic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I was curious.
Yeah, clearly.
If you're a Ralphie fan on The Sopranos, you'll love this chair. Okay.
I just love how Steve was totally put off by that.
Steve doesn't like that area in any way, shape, or form.
No.
He doesn't care.
No.
He doesn't care what your orientation is. That area is a no-go zone.
No,
Wait,
no
what?
brown belt for Steve when it comes to karate.
Yeah, his favorite park is not Hershey. It's not. He doesn't like
That's
to go
not
to
what that's for.
What is it, a mic stand for someone doing a podcast?
I can't. I'll have to show you.
Is it for a guy or a girl?
This part's for a girl. The other one's for a guy.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the guy part that Steve doesn't want anything to do with.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be a part of that. Yeah.
I mean, if it involves him, like you say, getting his brown belt, he doesn't want it.
It's for him.
What does he do?
that.
What does he
Yeah.
do with that?
That gives them the massage, and that kind of helps the massage part.
I mean, so it works the system? Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah.
So in other words, I don't got to do my job anymore?
Nope.
Like somebody else is, like this machine's doing it for all that.
There you go, $20
What if
well
it
spent.
breaks though, dude? And it just can't stop. You know what I mean? Remember when Howard?
This is just an attachment. It comes off.
Remember when Howard built that big device and he had to go to the hospital in the Big Bang Theory?
Oh, no.
Which, by the way, I bring it up because they did have their big season
Did you
finale.
watch it?
No, I'm going to save it for my wife. You know what? You can spoil it for me.
Oh, I didn't watch it last night.
Yeah,
I'm waiting
and-
for this weekend as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to wait till next weekend because it's, man, you know, I'm telling you, I'm feeling this sense of sadness. So many things are ending. And the Big Bang Theory has been a part of my wife and I's, like, really, like, it's one thing that we really agree on television because we have such different tastes.
Right.
And they have become part of the family. And it's been over a decade. And so it's ending. And that is an end of an era. Like, you know, when you loved a show like Seinfeld or Friends, this is that for us.
Dude, we have that too. Granted, our shows get canceled a lot quicker than probably your shows. But when you find that show that both you and your significant other can enjoy, like when both my wife and I enjoy a certain show, when we find out it gets canceled, you're like, son of a bitch. You know how hard it is to find that show?
Dude, I'm with you. My wife is hard to find a show for. And even if we find a show, she gets bored with it. And then it's like, even if she likes the show, after a season, she's done.
We just had that happen with the Santa Clarita Diet on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
We finished the third season, which they've canceled it. It ends very satisfyingly, but at the same point, it's like, I really like this show, and now we don't have one of those shows that we can both watch again.
Yeah.
We just got hooked on that Bless This Mess show.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I think it's on ABC, maybe.
Uh-oh.
Is it a sitcom?
Yeah, it's Dax Shepard.
Oh, yeah. I remember he was in something.
producing it. And
With Lake Bell on
is that who it
ABC.
is?
Oh, I like. Oh, Lake Bell's awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
And it's got Keckner's in it, David Keckner,
David Koechner's
Ed Begley Jr.'s in it. It's got a really fun cast. Basically, it's a couple of city people moved to the country.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
And like Keckner and all the other people are all like these kind of out there weird country dudes.
Okay.
And they're just trying to navigate life in the country now. It's pretty funny.
Okay, I'll have to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because I like Dax Shepard. I love Lake Bell. She was on Children's Hospital and she rocked. So, okay.
Yeah, Pam Greer's in it.
Okay. I'm willing to give it a try. I love Keckner. Keckner, you know, when he shows up, I just am so happy when I see him in anything. He'll show up in the most random things.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Superior Donuts being an example of that.
Yeah, he was
canceled.
I'm sorry, dude. I know.
Like a year ago. I'm over it now.
Yeah. Are you sure? You say you are, but you keep bringing it up. Are you sure you processed
I'm not
this?
fully over it.
Yeah. Well, they just canceled nobody knows this show but me. They just canceled. I just read online. They canceled The Tick, which is it's a goofy superhero show on Amazon Prime.
Wow, 2 for 2 on that program. They canceled the original one, too.
Dude, and
right?
I love this version. How do you not make it on Amazon Prime? I get so mad at those guys. Like, I'm paying my $99. Come on. So I'm kind of at war with Amazon right now because they took my show away.
So this is my wife and I's favorite shows. One of the few that we both like. It's Kim's Convenience.
I don't even know what that is.
It's on Netflix. I think it's a Canadian show. My wife and I watched a couple of episodes. It's a dude that owns a convenience store.
Makes sense.
And it's pretty funny.
Oh, really?
Netflix is one of the many places where we always forget to go.
Kim's Convenience.
Yeah.
All right, I got to check that out.
The misadventures of a Korean-Canadian family running a convenience store.
Yeah.
It looks fun.
All right. Okay, then. Now, since we're talking entertainment, Rev, of course, tough day for him, Steve.
Oh, because of Smelly Cat?
Grumpy Cat, you jerk.
Grumpy Cat.
What the hell?
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Show some respect.
I'm thinking of sitcoms.
As I said earlier, and by the way, my apologies if you already heard this joke, but if you did not, I said the Rev is in meowing.
You're going to keep doing that.
Didn't get better the second time.
I really like that.
No.
I really think it's one of my best ever. You guys just, I get it. The room just doesn't quite understand.
But it doesn't make any sense.
Meow and morning. Meowing.
I get that.
Why is it when they say right meow, everybody has a great time?
Because now rhymes with meow.
Well, I mean, you got
Morning doesn't rhyme with meow.
Meowing?
No.
Sorry.
Look at Danny looking at me. Okay, I guess it didn't pass.
I just don't care about the stupid cat.
Oh, okay.
I hate you too.
You know what? I'm with Danny on that at least. But here's another thing Rev was upset. He went on the internet too. And I love Rev. I think Rev is learning from us because he knows I will out him as a troll. So now he's being very courteous when he doesn't like something. And I thought it was the most bizarre post. About Robert Pattinson. If you don't know who he is, he's the Twilight guy. And for you Harry Potter fans, Cedric Diggory. And
he sparkles.
Spoiler alert, one of the most tragic deaths actually in that franchise. It was tough. And he is a top contender, at least in rumors, to be the next Batman.
Who's Nicholas Hoult?
Nicholas Hoult plays Beast in X-Men. He's the guy with the glasses that turns into the blue furry guy.
He was also in the recently released Tolkien.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's about J.R. Tolkien.
So, and he's a British guy as well as Robert Pattinson.
So people are upset that Robert Pattinson potentially will become Batman?
Yeah, people think, I don't think it can happen. People said the same thing about Michael Keaton.
I was about to say, you just don't know until you see it. And I'm not a Robert Pattinson fan, but I never thought I'd be a fan of Zac Efron back in the day because he was a teen heartthrob, no different than Robert Pattinson. And Zac Efron's turned out to be a pretty freaking awesome actor.
Yeah.
And look, funny.
When you think of the fact that the Bruce Wayne character is supposed to sort of be somewhat socially awkward, depending on which way they produce. I mean, they sometimes make him to be like this very, very charming guy, but other times they make him socially awkward. So it depends on the version of Bruce we're going to get. But Robert Pattinson has this sort of socially awkward, quiet charm to him, and he also, in the Harry Potter movie, he was actually really good. I mean, he was a good dude in that movie. You really liked him, and so when spoiler alert, when he died, it was really tough for a lot of people, even though you only met him in that one movie.
I mean, they're going to win over a new audience, I think, with this, by having him be a part of it. I think it's going to be a 20-something crowd is probably going to get really into the idea, which is not a bad call on their part.
Well, the guys up for it, you're absolutely right. They got a lot of young dudes.
Yeah, and my problem isn't necessarily with him because I don't give to any things about Robert Pattinson. He's not on my radar, and I just don't care. I'm just like, do we need another Batman right now?
And you're right, Rev.
It's been a few years since we've had Batman. I think we have some time.
Really? Yeah, it's been maybe 2 years since we had Batfleck?
It's ridiculous.
I just, how many times does poor Thomas and Martha Wayne have to die for us to get another Batman?
I know, and we saw that in Gotham. They relive that a lot of times. The problem is that if they don't make movies, then the rights run out, and then anybody can pick up the rights when they run out.
I'm sure they can wait maybe 5 years or maybe 10 years or just let it run out.
Well, when was the last Batman movie? Was it 5 years ago?
Not counting Batfleck.
See, I don't think you can count it when it's not just Batman by himself. That's why, if, guest starring in Justice League or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know enough about that.
Because we're going to get another Fantastic Four movie. They're already talking about that now that Disney's got Fox. And again, if they don't do these movies every few years, they will lose their license, I guess.
So The Dark Knight Rises came out in 2012, and then the Batman v Superman, if that counts or not, was 2016.
It did have Batman in it. Batman v Superman.
I know. I just don't know if it counts if it's not a Batman. I know. And I don't know these rules. Armie Hammer, you know him as the Lone Ranger, and also in the network, the Social Network.
Okay,
he was the Winklevoss guy.
Yes,
yeah. So that's Armie Hammer. No, he's also running to be Batman.
I would prefer him, I guess, but I still don't want a Batman.
What about Kick-Ass? The Kick-Ass kid, Aaron Taylor Johnson, who also played Quicksilver in the X-Men movies.
No,
not in the X-Men movies.
What about Tracy Morgan? Why can't we have Tracy Morgan as Batman?
Please.
That would be freaking badass.
I'm going to get Robin pregnant.
Oh dear.
I don't know. I'll get Catwoman pregnant.
And dude, so long as these movies make hundreds of millions of dollars, they're going to keep cranking them out.
Yeah. I get it.
Listen, we didn't think we wanted another Spider-Man movie because we hated what happened so much, and then they gave us Spider-Man in Civil War, and we were like, dude, we want a Spider-Man movie. We like this kid's version of Spider-Man. So I'm willing to, I like the Batman. That's the only DC character I really like is Batman. I'm not a fan of any of the other ones. Sorry, I'm not an Aquaman fan.
Did you watch Aquaman yet?
I will when it's free.
Someday.
When it comes on HBO or Showtime, I'll watch it.
I'm curious to see what you think of it.
You know what? I like Jason Momoa. Plus, I liked him in Justice League. I thought because I saw Aquaman in that. I thought Momoa did a good job. I actually think I like Momoa, so I'm going to like Aquaman better than I like Aquaman because I like Momoa as an actor.
So he says there's been more movies about Batman than any other superhero, and they all suck. We don't need another Batman movie.
They all suck. Oh, no.
Christian Bale's were pretty awesome.
Most of them are fine.
Yeah, and I actually like the Tim Burton, the Tim Burton one, the first one.
Who was with
the Joker? Jack Nicholson Joker?
Was that Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I like that Batman. I didn't like the Penguin one, even though Burton did that. I didn't like that one.
That was
Tony's
my
Nipples
favorite.
one was not good.
No.
I like that one too, but I was
Val
also
Kilmer
7.
was terrible too.
Yeah.
They were all great.
It was tough. Clooney and Kilmer were tough to follow Keaton. That was the trouble. It was too close after Keaton.
So he says you guys keep saying Robert Pattinson's from Harry Potter, but he's the loser from Twilight.
He is in Harry Potter too.
He's in both.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know
in
any
both.
of this.
I know.
Yeah.
I know him from
Shut
Twilight. That's it.
Yeah,
and I didn't see it.
He's very famous for Twilight, but anybody who knows Harry Potter, the character of Cedric Diggory, who he played for one movie, was a really beloved character for the short time he was on the screen because he actually Pattinson did a great job making you love that dude.
Yeah. So it says unless Robert takes a bunch of roids and gets jacked, the suit he wears will be worse than the nippled Batman.
Well, see, they're all hating on Pattinson. He may be a really, really good actor. I think it's interesting that out of the 4 people on the front runners, that 3 of them are Brits, and people, they do like, and of course Christian Bale was a British actor too, so people do, they bring something, these British actors. So there you go. Danny, you excited? For crying out loud. What if Robert Pattinson,
he's not a superhero guy.
What if he played in the new Titanic and he was the guy that sunk?
That'd be fantastic.
What if he was Jack?
Yeah.
Did you like the Tim Burton ones? Because Tim Burton's your guy.
Yeah, I did. I feel like my uncle took me to those when I was a kid, and I remember I actually liked the Penguin one. But those, I wasn't a huge, even back then, I wasn't like a big Batman fan.
It was the second one with the Penguin one. That was Tim Burton all over the place.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I think Tim Burton said, "Look, I'll do this first Batman so that it's somewhat everyone will like it. It'll be somewhat mainstream for a Burton movie."
Yeah.
It still had some weirdness, but not like the friggin' Penguin one was so Burton weird.
It also has the fantastic actor Christopher Walken in it.
I can't argue with that. Christopher Walken's always great in a movie. Can't argue with that. Well, we have a senior prank we got to tell you about because, it's getting to be that time of year, and a senior prank at a high school. This one actually led to the principal and the vice principal getting suspended. What?
That's epic.
I'll tell you all about this at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Well, there's a high school in Pennsylvania. The principal and the vice principal and the senior advisor were all suspended this week. Again,
damn.
It's the principal, vice principal, senior advisor, all suspended this week, all because of a prank that their students pulled. Apparently, the advisors signed off on a prank where 16 seniors let a dozen chickens run around in the classrooms overnight. The students also flipped over desks, toilet papered hallways, and put Vaseline on the doorknobs. Now they have to come into school 2 hours early every day until graduation to do extra cleaning. Here's a student talking about this whole thing.
There was like a lot of toilet paper, a lot of Vaseline all over the handles of doors. There were chickens. As a general rule, I think people are taking it a little too seriously, but I could see why people would be upset about the whole classroom destruction, and the teacher. I can understand why he would be upset.
Yeah.
I see.
Why'd they sign off on this?
Well, I don't know if the principal and vice principal did. They just said that the senior advisor signed off on it. But I guess, you know what? You've got to take the fall when one of your own people does this. And I guess because the senior advisor was somebody in management.
I guess this is a prank that's been going on for 40 years there.
The same kind of prank?
Well, maybe they've upped it, so that's what got them in trouble. Maybe like they were cool with the chickens, but once you put the Vaseline on the damn knobs.
I mean, if the chickens are running through, I guess okay. But tipping over the desk and the Vaseline, I see. I'm not a prank guy, so I just I just have no time for any of this. But I never have. And so it's just so funny to hear that a high school's principal got suspended.
Anyone get involved in senior pranks?
Oh yeah,
of course.
I feel like you have to be popular to be involved in those, and I was not.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Vic.
Our school didn't do any. I think we were too scared.
Are you sure you weren't popular? And they were, and you didn't know about it?
Well, even if I was popular or not popular, I would know that the prank happened.
Right.
Oh, see,
you know what I mean?
I feel like I was so unpopular that I didn't even know these things happened because they just
did you not go to school? You know what I mean? You would see it at school.
Yeah, the prank they did was the dumbest one. Was they just poured glitter everywhere and it rained that day, so it kind of all washed away before anyone could really see it. It was the dumbest thing. I'm like, I guess there's some glitter on the ground.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Whoops.
I think most of the people at my school, we were so terrified of the nuns.
Oh, you were. Nuns. You're not going to pull pranks in those days.
No, they were violent.
Yeah,
they were some violent ass nuns.
Yeah, well,
that was the name of our high school band.
Violent ass nuns.
Violent ass nuns. Yep.
Yeah, dude. We forget about that again. The day and age we grew up in, where now kids have all the power. No, back in your day and even beyond, you did not mess with the nuns. They would ruler the hell out of you.
Somebody says the best prank was a 3-foot dong glued to the floor, and then they put some of that Vaseline on it so you couldn't move it. I saw that.
Wow.
That is funny. So did you see the senior prank with the giant package in the hallway, though?
See, now that
happened this year, I think. That's
funny. I don't think that hurts. That doesn't destroy property.
Unless you slip and fall on it.
Okay, yes. Well, then, see, at that point, then, yeah, you're right. So I guess we got to put it, I don't know, maybe put it in like a little mini pool.
Vicky's looking at it. It's pretty epic.
I think the school had to go on lockdown for it, so nobody would see it.
Oh, they went on lockdown because of a
rhymes with lockdown.
Really?
Check that thing out there.
It's huge. It's almost taller than me.
Oh, I didn't realize that was that big.
3 feet.
That's like a pedestal.
Yeah.
And so they went on lockdown for this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What is wrong with our country? Do we know that our kids know what these things are and have seen more penis than anybody would even expect? I mean, they're kids. With the internet, of course they're going to... We're so dumb. We're just a dumb society.
I'm curious, though, about Danny's high school, because he said, I was a part of it. So you were a part of the senior prank?
I was planning it.
You planned the senior prank.
I was on the planning committee. So there was
You like being on committees.
I do like being on committees. I
didn't know they had a committee for the pranks. I didn't know it was disorganized.
Yeah. No, well, my idea was that I wanted to get a bunch of duct tape and duct tape the admin building because it would technically not cause any damage. It would just be really hard for them to get off, and then they would, just take forever to do that. But we didn't go with that one. What we ended up doing was the tires on the flagpole.
Somebody just said my buddy's dad at a tire shop. We stacked tires down the entire flagpole.
Yeah, because our friend had a crane. His dad was like some kind of crane.
That answers my question.
Wow.
Yeah.
We went at about, I think it was like 1:30 in the morning, and we put I think it was 25 tires, and then we took the crane away. So the next morning they had to call in another crane to get it off the flagpole. It's fantastic.
That's an impressive prank because you go, how did you get this done?
Right.
Well, what does that really harm? I mean, maybe the cost of the crane.
Well, we did get in trouble, but I mean, it was like one of those.
Who dimed you out?
It was about 10 of us that got in trouble. I have no idea who did it. Who what
was the punishment? Suspension? You had to pay for the crane?
No, we just had to go to detention after school for a week.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I feel like that's worth it.
Yeah, because there was the class before us, the year before us, they actually put welded bars so you couldn't get into the classrooms, in front of the door, and they actually got they couldn't walk through graduation. They didn't have a graduation the year before us because they canceled it because that was the punishment. Because it was
canceled the entire
vandalism.
school's graduation.
Yeah, because it was actually vandalism.
So why would they cancel the whole whole graduation was just a couple of douches.
You know what? If one person screws up, everyone gets punished.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, I know that they used to do that in my school. I hated that. I hated the whole class gets punished. They thought that would be motivation for a person not to do anything, and it just made me think how stupid school was, and it just made me hate them more.
Somebody says, not my class, but another one got a bag of crickets, opening up in a stairwell. They kept finding crickets for years.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's I don't go for that.
A texter says we put a cow on the third floor of our high school. Cows can walk upstairs, but not down. Oh, that sucks for the cow.
Yeah, what are you going to do now, cow?
Well, you do like in Bob's Burgers when they did that. They put socks on the cow, put it on a mattress, and just slid it all the way down.
Another person put a cow on the roof of the school.
What?
Okay, I guess you can get a crane to get him down or something, right?
I think you'd have to do something like that.
Why bother the poor cow? This guy ain't bothering anybody.
The class of 2003 did a abandoned car, and they took the wheels off, and they just left it right in front of the cafeteria.
Wasn't that in Greece? It was in some movie, I think they did.
It had to be Grease, too. You've never seen Grease.
I've seen Grease.
Oh, I thought Grease 2 was the only movie you'd ever watched.
No, I just said Grease 2 is way more dominant of a film than Grease 1.
Oh, that's right. I remember there was some insanity about that. Yeah. Well, congratulations, prankers and principals that got suspended.
So this is the class before we welded bronze balls to our bronze tiger statue in our school.
Okay, that's
Tiger's
cool.
our mascot.
That's cool.
That's funny.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you got to. That's see, to me, I love that idea. I know it's a piece of art, but you know what? I don't have a problem with that. Damn. Got a new survey here.
Okay.
Says here that 4 in 10 of us would leave a job we love to do a job we hate for the right price. I've wondered about this because I've noticed in millennials, it's not about the money anymore. It's about is this a cool job? Does it have a lot of cool benefits? Is it great to work here, like the workplace environment? And that was never my concern. I never cared about the workplace. I just cared how much you going to pay me.
Right.
And now it looks like it's swinging back a little bit, but you just have to find the right amount of a raise to finally convince somebody to leave a gig that they love.
What would it be for you guys? Like, how much would you be willing to take a job that you absolutely hated?
Well, and I've thought about it because in our industry, Steve, there are jobs in our industry. Like I could be on
a format.
Yes, that I would hate, but I would do.
I'm trying to think of what format that would be. I think I could tolerate pretty much any format. Obviously, it would be painful at times, but
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you
listening.
I'll tell you the 2 formats that are a pain in the ass.
Okay,
only because of the hardcore listeners of the format.
Okay,
and that would be sports and news talk.
Yes, both of those, especially sports for me. You couldn't pay me any amount of money to do sports ball.
Yeah, talk. News talk would be. You'd have to back up the truck for me to want to do news talk.
Now, I personally
I do the news segment on our show.
I would definitely do it differently. I mean, and I've had opportunities in my career where people have said, "Hey, would you like to do a sports show? Would you like to do a news talk show?" And the thing is the way I would do it, I feel like would be successful. The trouble is, it's not the way they do it, and the core listeners that they would have would be really upset. But I would say, look to the core listener. If they're hiring me, it's because there's not enough of you, so shut up and deal with it. That's my attitude. But yeah, you'd have to double my salary. I think you'd have to double my salary to get me to do those particular jobs because of the anal retentive nature of those listeners.
The fan base.
They're such a-holes if you make a mistake. Yeah. I mean, it's so frustrating.
It's fun reading, like anytime you go to like a sports website or a news website, if you want to just be miserable for the rest of the experience online, just go read the comments. The comments are the worst. Arguing sports is just mind-numbing. Yeah. I wouldn't mind working. Like, doing a sports show would be fun if it's the sports I like, which is clearly just wrestling, because that's the only real sport out there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I could handle, though, the whole, I don't like your team, back and forth stupidity.
Yeah.
I've never been one to get into that. It just seems so silly.
And I'll have to tell you, I mean, I grew up in Boston where the big sports show was not that. Mm-hmm. They were like us, but they just happened to be on a sports station. And it was so successful because of the fact they didn't do what you just said. They just had fun. And instead of, talking about, I don't know, or playing rock music, they would just talk sports, but it would be fun sports. And you wouldn't have to be some geek to really get it. They wouldn't go that deep.
You wouldn't talk about like pitch counts and things.
No,
like that.
They would make fun of the personalities in sports. They would make fun of the manager, and they would play all these great drops, making the manager sound like an idiot. See, that to me is fun. And and there's successful shows that do that, but most sports stations aren't like that.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be radio.
Double the money.
Any job, but you'd take a job that's going to make you miserable every day. So you say double is in order.
It would definitely at least be double. If it's not in radio and somewhere else,
yeah.
You might have to triple it.
Damn.
I was going to say, you're going to have to double for me if I have to work in an office. Because I've tried, helping friends out and do some office kind of work for them.
Yeah.
And even though it was a fun place to work and it was fun company, just, as helping them out, it made me miserable. I can't, trying to send all these emails to people who don't give a crap, who are just either being rude or just ignoring me completely. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm over it.
Do it for $5 more an hour. I guess I'm kidding. Wow.
I mean, they could hire you. That's cool.
Yeah.
That was kind of like, so for Earth Day, we went and cleaned up a park, and it was a lot of manual labor in terms of shoveling and picking weeds and stuff like that. And I was like, man, it would at least take, not as much, it would probably take at least $25,000, and I would probably do that manual job.
You're closer, Danny.
Okay.
You're closer to what the number is for at least this survey. What people
I think
say
25 grand is a good call.
Yeah, 25 grand.
Because that's what I mean. It's about $2 grand more a month,
right?
You can do a lot with that.
A lot of money.
Yeah, if I were your age, Danny, I'd probably be closer to that. See, at my age now, it's like you're going to have to make me hit the lottery to get me to do something I don't want to do. I mean, really, I don't have a lot of time on this planet, so I'm not going to spend it doing a job I hate. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I'm in my 20s or 30s, like Danny, you got your kids, you got to support them. They're little. You're like, yeah, all right, yeah, this is what it would take to get me to do a job I hate.
Yeah,
and let me tell you, I did that. I worked formats I hated, but I mean, it was a little extra money. What am I going to do?
So what is the amount then?
$15 grand a year is all it takes for a person.
15 grand more a year
to go from a job they love to a job they hate. Now, this is really, I think, powerful for the millennial community because they are right now, a lot of them at jobs they love, but eventually, you want to get that house, you have the family, and adulting does set in, and you realize that money is important. It's, it's easy when you're by yourself, and as a young person, you can go, money's not that big of a deal. But when you start getting the kids, the house, the bills, and it's like, you have an M&M machine here. I get free M&Ms, but these guys are going to give me 15 grand more. I think I got to go over here.
I mean, before taxes, a little more than $1 grand more a month.
Yeah.
You could do a lot with that as well. Yeah. I don't know, though. I don't know if I could be miserable. Like, if I had to agree to be miserable at a job for 8 hours a day for an extra 15 grand. As much as I could use that extra 15 grand, it's not about that I can't use it. I just don't know if I could put that. I don't know if I could just sell my soul out for that.
Do you have a number then of how much you'd have to make a year? Because they actually do have a number for people saying this is what I'd have to make to be miserable for a year. So they did put a yearly salary down. Do you have a number that you go, I would like, Danny, you would do the manual labor job for how much money a year? Vicky, you would work in the office for how much? I've already told you.
500 grand.
Yeah, 500 grand.
Yeah,
oh, you really?
Wow.
Guess what?
Yeah,
hey, you are not like America.
I gotta start high with my negotiations, man.
Good call. You're never going to get to the number these people.
I could afford some sick weekend getaways with that kind of money.
Yeah, right. 500 grand, ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner.
Yeah, I could get myself lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, you could hire someone to
pool.
You could hire somebody to be.
Yeah. See, I'm cheaper.
A pool and a float tank. Wow.
I'm $250,000 to $300,000, so I'm a little cheaper.
You're still way high than the average American.
Oh yeah,
that's amazing.
See, mine would just be $100,000.
And Danny, you are again. Danny's closer. Reb, where would you be?
I'm going with Steve, but I want to be a little bit better. So $501.
We're not playing prices right.
Wow. Yeah, the price.
Come on down, Reb.
Come on down.
You know what's funny though? In my head, I said $1 million. I'm like, that seems a little excessive. I'll tone it down. 500,000. Yeah. I was like, people are going to think I'm way too out of my mind.
And
what you are?
No, dude,
I'm in half.
No, dude, you think that's crazy? I'm up in seven figures.
Oh,
to do a job I hate. Yeah, I mean, because again, I don't have a lot of time. So I mean, you got to pay me to seriously to change my life from what it is.
And free lunches.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, touche.
500,000 and free lunches.
Yeah, every day.
The 500 G's
and poke bowls. I want some poke bowls.
Okay, fair.
The 500 G's isn't going to cover that.
Yeah,
so
right.
you got to make sure and incentivize a little bit.
Dude, I got a dog and a wife to feed for. You know, I mean, 500 grand is not going to get me very
doesn't
far.
Go where it used to. It doesn't.
Have you seen the price of poke these days, Rev?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Solid $12-13 a bowl.
Exactly.
So this survey found the average person would be fine with being miserable at a job if they were making at least $77,000 a year. Mm-hmm. Nothing about free lunches.
In Seattle.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, if you $77,000 a year, you have to make that just to rent a place in Seattle.
Right.
I mean, God, yeah, I don't know how that's a good amount of money. It really is, but it's not here.
Somebody says throw Vicky in on the deal, and I'll take a pay cut.
All right.
Wow, Vicky, look at you.
Wait. Am I going to be working? Am I just sitting
you're going to be
there?
working.
Yeah, that working.
Do they know they have to talk to her as well, though, and listen to her? Do they know that goes along with it? Unless they put it.
Some people enjoy Vicky's presence.
Yes, they do.
Find that person. Let me talk to them for a second.
I got quite a few, BJ. I just happen to be with you, and you make me miserable.
Yeah, all right.
She's fun when you leave the room.
Yeah.
Ringing endorsement.
Boy, I have no idea what that means. That sounds. I'll let that go the way that goes.
There you go.
Danny's still in the room, too.
Well, that doesn't mean Danny can't be part of the fun party.
Is he just watching?
The allegations began.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just all right. Hey, all right. Yesterday, Steve, the man who has fun when I leave the room, got this one right.
What type of sports ball does the slang term pigskin refer to?
Football.
Yes.
Shut up, Brad.
I know. How about him trolling us?
Sports ball.
Oh,
Well, it
shut
is a
up.
sports.
Get out of here.
Ball.
You know you're trolling us because it's the geek way of saying sports people are stupid. All right, we got a shot at beating Steve, and so do you, as a matter of fact. We're not going to beat him, but you may beat him. 206-421-ROCK. We're going to be playing Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I know if bankruptcy is going to provide me with relief? What are the steps for my situation?
There's so much information out there about bankruptcy with the internet and what people have heard from friends and other people that they've talked to about their financial issues or bankruptcy. There's also a lot of bad information out there or urban legends about bankruptcy. In order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you need to talk to an attorney that's experienced in bankruptcy. So in order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you should talk to an experienced bankruptcy attorney. And my job is not to convince you to file bankruptcy. My job is to help you to make that decision and have all the facts so that you can make an informed decision about whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, what benefits it's going to have for you, and what the downside of filing bankruptcy is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.